We know here in New Zealand that $50 doesn't get you much at the supermarket, but I'm telling you now, you can make some absolute bangers for your dinner. This is Savvy Suppers, where I make 3 dinners for 2 to 3 people, and you always have leftovers for your lunch, and I only spend $50. This week's 3 dinners are all centering around 500 grams of pork mince. Now that doesn't sound a lot, but it's amazing what you can do when you stretch it out into different dinners. So if that sounds like something you want to watch, then jump on in, because not only is it springtime here, meaning that there are some treats in the basket, because them vegetables are coming back around, but there's also some cozy dinners for them cold nights when the wind blows. So if you want to learn how to make 3 banging dinners, you're in the right place. This is Savvy Suppers. Let's get to it. Welcome back, it's Savvy Suppers and we're back on the dinner train. I've gone to the shop, spent under $50 and I'm going to make 3 dinners for 2 to 3 people and have leftovers for your lunch. And this week's shopping came to $49.22. But oh my god, spring is here. So our first meal of the week is an easy sweet corn pasta, because sometimes spring nights can still feel a little bit chilly. Quick and easy for a Monday night. So while you get your water on for your pasta, we're going to make the sauce. Saute off them diced onions. Once your pepper is charred to perfection, pop it in a bowl and chuck on a lid. Put it to one side and we can finish off the sauce. It could not be simpler to make this creamy sauce. Into a container that's probably larger than this and give it a blend. Maybe I'm going to change the container. A little bit overkill, but it's better than it going everywhere. And once you've given it a little blend, because you don't want it too pureed, add it back in to your sauteed onions. And the last thing we need to do for this pasta is take a little bit of our pork mince, about 100 grams, and we're going to break it down in a frying pan, make it really crispy and golden, and add in a little tiny bit of smoked paprika if you have it for some little crunchy nuggets on the top. Get your pasta cooked, and with 2 minutes left, add in your broccoli, prep your red pepper, give it a little peel, and this bad boy is ready to eat. And once it's all mixed together, we can get it on the plate. And to finish it off, a few little strands of that charred pepper, a little sprinkle of that paprika pork, and a tiny little bit of some feta cheese. Quick and fresh, with plenty of spring vegetables, but still that cozy pasta feel. That is just delicious. That is yum. Welcome back to Savvy Suppers, where I go to the supermarket, spend under $50 and make dinner for 2 to 3 people and have leftovers for your lunch. And this is dinner 2. It doesn't look like a lot, but I promise you this one is gonna be. And if you hadn't guessed it from these little guys, we're making dumplings. Making these dumplings is a really great way to stretch out that pork mince. We need to chop up half the onion, grate the carrot, and pop that into a separate bowl. And if you know me, I hate waste, and I found in the fridge a little tiny chunk of cabbage and some extremely questionable coriander. Of course, it's great if you've got all these extra things, but if you don't, it really doesn't matter. And now that our veggies are all chopped, we need to give them a little salt. And this is so that all the moisture gets drawn out, and after 10 minutes, that salt has done its job, and to squeeze out all the water from your veggies. Add in your pork mince. And once it's ready, we just need to give it a little season. Now, that can either be with soy sauce, but if you didn't have any, just add a little bit of salt. And then it's just a little bit extra of anything you've got, but I'm gonna add some of my homemade XO sauce. And if you wanna know how to make this, head to my YouTube channel, because this thing is insane. So I'm gonna add in a little teaspoon of that and a little teaspoon of some soy sauce. Spread out your dumpling papers, add a little tiny bit of the mix to each, hold it in your hand, fold over and crimp the top and give it a pinch. And there they are, a whole load of homemade dumplings ready for the steamer. You can even pan fry these, whichever way you like, they're all still going to taste fantastic. And to go with these dumplings, let's make it real easy. We're going to have a little bit of slaw, shred up some of that broccoli that you've got left, season it up with a little salt, oil and vinegar, and what's the most important thing when your dumplings come out? Give them a little season. Homemade pork and veg dumplings with a delicious springtime salad. Oh my god, them dumplings are so good. And who would have thought dumplings and salad go so well together? You have got to give this one a go. Welcome back to Savvy Suppers. If you're new around here, I go to the shop, spend under $50 and make 3 dinners for 2 to 3 people and always have leftovers for your lunch. And it's Friday, guys, so that means let's make something freaking delicious to get us into the weekend. We are making all the good stuff: meatballs, chips, tzatziki, salad, and we've even got avocado and feta. So get your chips on. Once they've come up to the boil, let them cook for 5 minutes, drain them off, cover them in corn flour and oil, and pop them in the air fryer. Next up, let's make some delicious meatballs. Finely slice your onion and grate your carrot. Add in that last bit of pork you have left, plenty of salt and pepper, and any seasoning you like. I've got some cumin and half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. And if you've got an egg lying around, chuck that in too, along with a few breadcrumbs. Mix it all together and make into your meatballs. So many meatballs from so little mince. Next up, we're going to make our tzatziki style yogurt. So take your plain yogurt, salt and pepper, and then cut up your cucumber. I'm going to cut mine into dice, but you could grate it up if you wanted to. And what's great to add in here is some herbs, but if you didn't have any fresh, just use maybe some dried. And dill is great for that. It tastes just like it was fresh. And while you've got your cucumber out, take a little chunk and cut it into squares for your salad. Add in a few tomatoes, a little bit of that avo. Some more of that bag of slaw, which just keeps on going forever. And lastly, crumble in some of your feta. And when everything's cooked, we can just get it on the plate. Then meatballs and chippies. The ultimate Friday night dinner, and all on a budget. Oh my God. That is delicious. I'm so truly happy that spring is here and these veggies are cheap again. This might be my favourite savvy supper yet. What about you? Oh, yum.